Hey everybody, welcome back to my Slime Fun Survival series here on my server. This is Boomer, your host, and today we're going to talk about, we're trying to get to the point of automating infinity, and I mean not just ingots. Um, Infinity ingots is the end goal, of course, and that's what we've been working towards in the last couple of episodes, is setting everything up. So let's kind of take a look and see where are we right now. We're actually using the garden cloches to get things started, and we've put together quite a bit. I've got 33 netherite scrap set up. Let's see, what else is in here? Okay, so we've got, it looks like 21 gold, 6 lapis, 6 redstone, 21 diamond, at least 21. Might even be more, might even be 27 now. Yeah, 27 diamond, 6 coal, so it must have been 27 emerald. Back here, yeah, 27 emerald, 6 quartz, and singularity constructors. I actually just finished setting these up. You can see I've still got scrap on the ground. I've done the same kind of labeling system as well that I did with the other things, but it starts a little bit differently. It starts in the bottom left corner. So I only have one netherite singularity constructor that will run. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 diamond. Then we switch to redstone. Redstone, I believe there's 8. Then there's 8 lapis. And it just kind of goes from there, it carries on over here. The biggest one, obviously, is magnesium. There's 30 because that's what it'll take to keep up with one netherite, excuse me. Now, this is not connected. I have not started them up yet. I wanted to start them all at the same time just to try to complete the singularities as close as possible. Because 99.99% of the time, we all do the same thing. We set up the singularity constructors, and then eventually one of them becomes the slowest. Now, to truly balance them out evenly, you actually need to double this amount. I think it's like 377. And then you truly will have every singularity being produced at the same time, because it takes 200 netherite by default, but it takes 1500 lapis. So it's 7.5 constructors. I've rounded up to 8 on those that take 1500. And so I don't have storages set up for anything at all. We're simply going to connect, get this started, and then start setting up storage units for singularity constructors. Now, real quick before I do, I also decided, instead of putting the power on top, I've kind of decided to hide it in the middle. Now, eventually I'll go in there and completely surround it. Maybe I'll do the polished andesite or something. But it's all in there, and you can kind of see I'm plus 616,000 joules. I do want to take just a quick look and see what is that going to do to my power when I connect all this stuff. Because actually the power is already on, but they're not running. It is connected, but they're not running. So each one's going to take 240 joules per second. I have 191 connected. So let's just call it 200 for ease of math. So actually, we're going to be fine. We should be fine. It should take approximately 48,000 joules per second. So I'm willing to believe as soon as I place this bridge and everything starts up, the power is going to be okay. So first, let's verify that things are working. Did I break a different one along the way, or did I not connect them all yet? I wonder if I don't have them all properly connected. No. Iron's running. Did I miss something in here? Let's take a look. Ooh, did I do something wrong with with the pusher? There we go. Alright, so the netherite one's going to be lagging just a tiny bit. So anyways, they're all running. Yep, they're all doing good. Alright, now let's go check our power. Hopefully, we're still in good shape. Whoops. And I've got a lot of holes in the floor I need to start patching. Alright, get as close as we can here. Plus 593. Alright, so we're pretty stable. So we have a ways to go with power yet. There's 7 Ignis generators and 27 basic Ignis generators in there. So we should be good. So now that all these are running, I obviously need to set up storage units to house them. How far behind is this one going to be? 50. It's not a big deal. I'm not going to stop every other one of them just to let this one catch up. in time, it's fine. Uh, so we're going to need to set up the singularities. We also need to get a few other things going. While those are running, we'll come back to set up. There's three other pieces in infinity ingots that we need to have put together besides these four singularities. We need quadruple compressed cobblestone. We need mithril and adamantite, if I remember right. So let's kind of back all the way out here. So this is, yeah, the singularities. I want to get to, let's see. No, this is, there's one other spot I thought that showed these in here. Let's see. I know they're in here somewhere. Yeah, here we go. All right, so magnesium. So actually, there's four. So we have 30 magnesium singularities running. So it's producing two singularities for every netherite. Mag steel we have tons of. Ender essence we have tons of. We have 4 end dragon sim chambers going. We're going to up that to 7. All right, so the ender essence, magnesium, so we can get those started. Adamantite, mag steel, again, we got plenty. We'll probably set up an extra smeltery. Diamond singularity, redstone alloy ingot. I think we're sitting at something like 32,000 of those, so we should be okay. And then the other one is the mithril, hardened, reinforced, and then the iron singularity, which we're good on. Titanium, we have plenty of that running, and I feel like I'm missing something. Oh, the void ingots. Oh, we got 2,000 of those, I think, right now. Give or take. And so we should be sitting in really good shape. Void ingot should be the last one. Oh, sorry, 3,400. I lost count. All right, so we're going pretty good. So I think the first thing we need to do is set up our storages. Then we'll work on the smelteries to make the next levels of items, and then the final 4 singularities, and then the big one, the infinity singularity. Um, and we're just going to add that extra row back there. And I'll get in a plan. At some point, will be upgrade all of these to infinity singularities. And at that point, the ratio is going to change dramatically. I don't know for sure what that's going to look like. But we'll play with that when we've got enough infinity ingots to even have that conversation. So let me get going. Guys, everything's done. We do have some infinity ingots coming in. They are being crafted. Now, what I could have and should have done, but I'm in a hurry, was to let all of these singularities, the magnesium, adamantite, mithril, can't quite see the label. I should have let all those build up and then filled up the storage units. But because of getting the singularities going, I've wiped out every dust I had. I had 250,000 of every single dust, and they're all gone. And I'm losing ground on other areas. And so what I need to do is take my dust extractors and upgrade them to infinity dust extractors. And so I'm actually playing around with the balances inside of here manually just to get enough infinity ingots going, which unfortunately right now I'm stuck at 7 waiting on diamond. So I might be playing around with this, but I'm only making 4 dust times like 100, every slime fun tick. Or 2 times 200, whatever I've got out there. I'm way behind on dust because they all went to gearing up, getting me a storage of 2 million ingots. So the storage units that I have for dust, they're 262K, but they're all empty. So I will upgrade them to the 2 million version, but it doesn't do any good if I can't get to production. And the big problem, it stopped mag steel, which, as you know, is a huge part of Infinity. So I've been manually going out, getting the dust, bringing it back in. So I think what I need to do in the short term here is I'm going to kind of have to babysit this thing for the next hour or two until I can get enough infinity ingots to start making a few infinity dust extractors. And then we'll come back and we'll talk about next steps. Just starting with the cloches alone. Initially, I started off with roughly 125, 130. Each one of these vertical stacks is 66. So now I have 264 cloches running. Of those 264, 99 are netherite scrap. At least 99 of them are. There might even be more. I just haven't been able to keep up. It was the one thing that initially I had tons of, and as time went on, well, you can imagine. We set up 191 singularity constructors. These are going to start getting upgraded to infinity, but change of plan. First, I should actually finish breaking down a cobble from when I put that last group up. Let's see here. Okay. So we've got resources going. I've been making some infinity machines. We had our cobble generators, of course, and our dust extractors. I've added some more infinity ingot formers just to start getting ready for singularity constructors. And then we've also added 5 or 6 infinity panels. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get a good shot at them or not. Let's see where they are. We're not going to be. There they are. You can kind of see them right in the middle, but there's 2 up there. There's actually 5, I believe, up there. Trying to get ahead of the power game because that's one of the biggest challenges with Slime Fun, right? Is you get building, and then you run out of power creation. You fall behind. And I figured I had, I don't know, it was like 60 Celestials. So we started making the Infinity panels, got those going. We're going to continuously be adding more, as well as deep end power production from other add ons. Of mainly a lot of that's already in there is Supreme, but we're going to keep working on them, so don't worry. Eventually, I want to get to the point where nothing with fire is in there, but they're all the deep end game ones. So I got 2 options, really 3 options I can keep working on. Okay, so one was to continue to make infinity ingot formers to help support the infinity singularity constructors. 2 is start making these. But honestly, I really probably need to start moving towards some quarries as well. And I do have that custom machine that we've added. So for those of you that didn't see, and it might have done it earlier, in Slime Customizer, and I forget which one. I think it's page 2 for me. Let's see. I thought it was down here somewhere. Yeah, there we go. We have the auto smither. So it does draw a lot of power, but it does allow you to automate netherite pickaxes. So you just put in an ingot and a diamond pickaxe, you get your netherite out. But it is a little costly. Again, 2 energized energy capacitors and a motor. So we're going to actually get started because we have basic and advanced quarry, like I said, already fully automated. We do need to see here now the capacitors. I thought I had those automated. I do. And I have 4,100 of them. So you can go, well, it doesn't cost you much. Well, sure, because I've had months to build this up. Um, that doesn't change anything. It still costs a lot of resources to do it. Just as you get with any game, the further you get into it, the easier it is for you to do things because you have more resources. So we need 6 ingots. Put those 2 back. Okay, turn that back on. Whoops, wrong one. Turn this one back on. There we go. Let's go craft this thing and hook it up to power. And then we're going to start automating void quarries. And then once we've got infinity available, we'll start placing those down. And I've got really 2 problems I just can't keep up on. One is netherite, as we've kind of already made obvious. The other one then is, believe it or not, quartz, because I'm trying to expedite the silicon production for photovoltaic cells, and I'm out of silicon and I'm out of quartz essentially. I mean, I have a lot of ferrosilicon, but you still need it's silicon, ferrosilicon, and glass. Well, I don't have any silicon, and the reason I don't have any silicon is because I'm out of quartz. I've got 2 auto crafters that have been taking my supply, plus singularity constructors taking my supply. In other words, I have no supply. So I need to find somewhere to plop this down, get this started. So I'm going to do that. I think I'm just going to set it up here and get started on automating void. So let me get going. We'll be right back. Guys, so let me take you through the final setup here, at least for now, stage one, right? Now, we started this about 7 days ago when I started this episode. We're running, we got the cobble gens, the infinity cobble gens are 16. I've still got 2 billion cobble. 49 infinity dust extractors, 35 infinity ingot formers trying to keep up. And as you can see, they're all labeled how many I have of each. I believe it's the big one, I think, is iron. I think I have 8 of those, 7 magnesium, and then varying amounts of others. We have upgraded the majority of my smelteries, especially the ones for silicon and ferrosilicon, to the advanced smeltery from Infinity Expansion to speed them up so where they're essentially producing every second. Nothing new in here really, but we've made a lot of changes back here. All of my singularity constructors have also been upgraded to infinity. So I started with 191. Now I'm down to, let's see, 9, 12, 15, 18. Now we're going to add more. The goal is to be able to produce, infinity ingots per second. Right now I'm running a little behind on quartz. I grabbed so much to produce power to try to get ahead of this that I think right now I'm getting an ingot around probably about every 15, 16 seconds, somewhere in that range. And that's the only thing I'm behind is quartz, because I'm turning so much into silicon to make ferrosilicon to make photovoltaic cells and so on and so on. I've got something like 16 more void panels waiting to go, and actually, let me show you just what's been put in place for power. Just to give you a scope of how many infinity ingots I've had to produce this week just to be able to get ahead. So 2, 11, 22 infinity panels. And then, so we've got again 49 infinity dust extractors, 35 infinity ingot formers, 18 infinity singularity constructors, 19 infinity quarries. You can imagine we've gone through quite a few thousand of these. And so I am so glad I started out with that 191 infinite singularity constructors right out of the gate. That made life a lot easier. I had to add a lot of our cloches just to keep up, and it would appear I left a block up there. Anyways, so we've been working pretty hard. Right now we're getting infinity ingots. Like I said, I think it's around every 15 seconds. So I've got over 700 in there, so I could make another dozen infinity quarries, which are probably the next because I'm out of redstone. And I think I'm also low on gold. I've got a lot going. I've got 7 carbonado furnaces taking advantage of the ore melting or smelting factor where you get the bonus ingots. So we've got those running. Although it seems like I'm finally running low on raw gold. Is that it? Did it finally take like 4 days to knock down? It did. Alright, so I'm not going to have 7 running soon. So anyways, we've gone through quite a bit. And now the next step, we're going to take a pause on infinity. There are some other items I do want to add. For example, where's my guide? Oh, I dropped it. There are a couple more pieces of infinity that for sure we're going to take advantage of. Just real quick. So in basic machines, there's nothing else we're going to worry about in here. I'm not going to get too much in the virtual farms. I might do a couple just to have a few, if I need them for automation later on down the road. But the ones that we're going to focus in here will be the Stoneworks factory. We're going to use that to help Supreme actually. Let's see, the tree growers. I might use those to get the different tree types. I might use a different one. The obsidian generator, I've got that running through chicken engineering. What else? The resource synthesizer. Now I might take advantage of that. The problem is the power usage. It's kind of insane. There's another foundry in Supreme that does the same thing with a lot less power requirements. GeoQuery, we decided against those and are running just 4 N-Dragon data cards, with each right now have about 6 million XP in it. Gear Transformer, we'll use that for our own personal gear if needed. Uranium extractor is already in place. Let's see, is there anything left in here that we would actually want to use? I've got void capacitors automated. Um, so actually, probably not. I even have nuclear reactors automated. Actually, I think we're pretty good. We'll do more mob sim chambers, and I may or may not go this route. I'm leaning away from it, only because, again, it chews up infinity ingots. I don't care about the void. I've got tens of thousands of them lying around. It's the infinity ones. I think I would rather create the panels, as they require no further resources, whereas this one does. We might create some of the weapons, we might not. But other than that, for now, infinity's done. Next is going to be, we're going to blow through, or at least attempt to blow through chicken engineering, will be the next episode that we're going to start with. I have 128 boosted excitation chambers ready to go. Some of you might have caught this out of the corner of your eye. We have a bunch of chickens eagerly awaiting their change into genetic chicken engineering. Ooh, hey, thanks for the eggs, guys. Whoops. Try that one more time. Have some fun. All right. So, with that, I'm going to wrap this up and say thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Don't forget, when you're playing Slime Fun, you got to go boomer or you got to go home. We'll see you later.